Hi and welcome to The Winning Factor. I'm Alan Aitken, and on this show each week we take a look at some upcoming races in Hong Kong and try to isolate an angle that might be the path to finding the winner. Well, this Sunday we have 10 of the best, and we're going to start with race 3, and the winning factor here, the map. So this is a Class 1 over 1400 metres. It's the day's fast class event and tactically the most interesting race of the program, with only a small field, and I'd even suggest that every runner has a winning chance in this race. But I want to focus on two in particular, Packing Treadmill and Supreme Lucky. So Packing Treadmill has not won since first up in September, but he's raced with credit all season and in very tough company all of that time, where it's difficult to win, especially when you have big handicaps to carry, as he did in his last appearance. This is race 645. He's in blue and white colours, gate 1. Packing Treadmill begins well to go through and lead, and Lyle Hewitson sets a decent enough speed there, saving Packing Treadmill's best for the stretch sprint. And when we get to the home straight, Packing Treadmill responds well, dashing home sharply under his 133 pounds, but unfortunately bumped into an even quicker sprinter, Rising Star Ka Ying Rising, who got through the 400 to 200 metre section here in a sensational 10.5 seconds to get clear and win easily, getting 14 pounds off the runner-up. Now, Packing Treadmill certainly wasn't disgraced there, handling the rest of them well enough with his big weight, and gets a good weight drop into Sunday's race. For his part, Supreme Lucky, well, he overcame a difficult run to win at his latest outing when he clashed with a couple of Sunday's rivals, Wonder Kit, the runner-up on this occasion, and a Tully Beguil, who runs fourth. This is race 625. Gate 4 is Wonder Kit in yellow. He bounces out well to be on speed. A Tully Beguil, gate 10, white and orange colours, goes back to the rear as usual. And in green colours, gate 12, Supreme Lucky jumps well. That's not always guaranteed with him. And Matthew Poon tries to put him in the race through a lively first section. But there is too much pace, and he drifts back to midfield with a tough wide run then all the way. Now, in the stretch, watch Wonder Kit here. He's going up the inside of the leader, but gets checked, has to stop, come back and around, and so he looks unlucky in the race, but Supreme Lucky is able to overcome his tough run and just hold him out. So plenty of merit there in both the runs of the first and second horses there for different reasons, but the big change on Sunday is that Supreme Lucky goes into gate 1. So we've made the winning factor the map. Let's take a look at it. Of the 6 runners here, 3 are potential leaders, but you have to wonder how aggressively Healthy Happy's rider Alexi Bedell will be about getting around the stablemates Packing Treadmill and Wonder Kit, considering he has to give both of them a lot of weight in the handicap. Now, those 2 horses being stablemates, you'd think they're not going to eyeball each other at speed in front either. So I'm not convinced that we'll get a real genuine race for the front, and the pace could come right off this mid-event, disadvantaging horses behind. So the tip from me in race 3, Packing Treadmill, his winning factor, the map. There's certainly a few different ways the tactics could turn out here, but Packing Treadmill, he's very honest, he gets the weight drop, but most of all, he's going to be up in front of Supreme Lucky, I think his major rival, and that looks a tactical edge. The second race I want to take a look at is race 10, and our winning factor, the devil you know. This is a Class 3 over 1400 metres, and you can make a case here for horses like Choo Chow Spirit, the last start winner Sky Heart. Down in the weights, Sunlight Power and Lost Child will have their fans, but I think most of the attention for this race will be on Zach Purton's mount Young Achiever and the in-form Patch of Theta. And I think the real talking horse of this race is going to be Young Achiever, a horse that obviously is unexposed in Hong Kong with only 1 start. He was the German 2000 Guineas winner at his only run in Europe on a firm track. which is interesting in itself. Whether that measures up to high class here or not, well, that's an open question. Whether it's even that much better than a Hong Kong Class 3 is an open question. But he did a good enough job off some nice trials into his debut run. This is race 605, 1200 metres, gate 5, black with white sleeves, and Young Achiever wasn't the best out of the gates and settles at the rear. But as you see on the heat map, it's busy up the front. That helps the horses running on later in the race. Young Achiever is still clearly last on the home turn, but as the leaders begin to tire, he is slightly hampered a couple of times in traffic before running on well, getting closest at the finish. Now he has an extra 200 metres this time and should be improved, but about an hour later that day, Patch of Theta was looking for his third straight success over the Sha Tin 1400 metres as a very short-priced favourite. This is race 607, he's in gate 5, blue and white colours, and Patch of Theta jumps well enough, but the early pace is quite sound and Hugh Bowman steadies him in midfield. Now, at the time it looked like a good idea, but it turns into a problem after the halfway mark when the pace comes right out of the lead and the field starts to pack up, and Patch of Theta ends up being caught behind horses as the leader sprints away again in the stretch. Then Patch of Theta takes time to get clear and wound up, ultimately running on well for third. Now, Patch of Theta's draw at first glance, certainly on Sunday, looks a little bit stickier on the map from gate 9, but there is a positive there that Loyal Bobo is likely to set quite a genuine speed, and there is some secondary speed across the draw too. So I think we are going to get a genuinely run race this time. A Young Achiever, he draws better in gate 1, though he was slow away in his debut, and there is some query on whether he really has the gate speed to take full advantage of that. Still, Purton will be able to save ground there and have plenty left for the finish if he can negotiate the traffic in the straight. Bowman on Patch of Theta, well, he won't have the same traffic problems, but his draw in gate 9 means he's probably going to drift back and give away a bit of a start. So I thought it was an opportunity to have a closer look at PPs. These are called private purchases. They're horses that are bought for Hong Kong with form somewhere else in the world, and a lot of them cause quite a bit of excitement when they start in Hong Kong because they have got runs on the board in some other part of the world, like Young Achiever as a German 2000 Guineas winner. So first of all, let's take a look at the performance of these horses at their first start. So here you can see the Hong Kong trainers listed by strike rate with their PPs at their Hong Kong debut since September 2018. Now, some trainers do well with them, especially Tony Cruz, but the bottom line figure here is that only about 1 in 30 of them ever win. Now, often these talented, unexposed animals haven't had a race for the best part of a year before they do begin their careers in Hong Kong. So if they do run an eye-catching race, as Young Achiever did first up, the expectation is that they're going to improve on that second time out. And he's been back to the trials. He's performed well again there under the lesser pressure of a barrier trial. And it's reasonable to think that he's going to be all the better for all of that when he steps out on Sunday. And I think that'll be reflected in the market. So what do the statistics tell us about this scenario? So once again, I've arranged the trainers on this table by win strike rates, with these PPs having their second Hong Kong start. And now we see the leaders in the segment are different names, which I think is quite significant. There are plenty of numbers to look at in these tables, but the chief takeaways are two things. The overall strike rate does improve to around 1 win in 20, second up for these horses, but the overall expectations, as I've mentioned, are quite a bit higher as well, and these horses as a group fall even shorter of market predictions than they did at their first local start. But the tip from me in race 10, Patch of Theta. His winning factor, the devil you know. Yes, we might expect a big improvement now from Young Achiever, now that he's had that race, but the statistics don't really support that as a betting proposition. And Patch of Theta, well, we've seen him in great form recently, did have excuses last time, and I think that makes him first choice in Sunday's race. Well, that's it from the Winning Factor this week. Good luck on Sunday. See you next time.